You are 17. Your room is the small one at the back of the house, the one above the kitchen where you can hear everything. For the past 4 months, you have been hearing your parents talk after dinner, not arguing. Just that quiet kind of talking that happens when someone is going through numbers and the numbers are not adding up. Your dad got hurt at work 8 months ago. He has been home ever since. Your mom started picking up extra shifts. Cleaning jobs mostly. Early mornings before you wake up. Nobody said anything to you directly, but you understood, without anyone explaining, that in this house right now, every single dollar matters. One Sunday, your uncle shows up. He sits in the kitchen for an hour. He has tea with your mum. He laughs loudly the way he always does. Then before he leaves, he pulls you aside. He presses $150 into your hand. He says, "Do not tell your mother. Do not waste it. Do not come back asking for more." You nod. He leaves. You go to your room and sit on the edge of the bed and look at the notes in your hand. $150. You have no job, no plan, no idea what to do with it. But you know one thing. You are not going to waste it. $150. It is sitting in an envelope in your drawer right now. You have no idea what it is going to become. If you want to understand how wealth is actually built, quietly, deliberately, and away from the noise, make sure you subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. A few days later, your neighbor mentions he needs his car washed. He does not have time to take it to a garage. Would you do it for $20? You say yes before he finishes the sentence. It is Saturday morning. It is cold. You are crouched beside a red sedan in Mr. Davies's driveway. The bucket next to you is your mother's. The soap is dish soap from the kitchen. The cloth cost $3. You have $12 in your account. You are not here because you love cars. You are here because $20 is $20. And right now, $20 is everything. You finish the car. Mr. Davies walks out, looks it over, hands you $20. Then he stops. He says, "You did the inside too. I did not ask for that." You say you noticed it needed it. He looks at the car again. He opens his wallet and gives you another $10. You walk home with $30. You feel something you have not felt in a long time. Not happiness. Something more useful than happiness. The feeling that you did something and it worked. That night, you sit at the kitchen table. You write 3 things on a piece of paper. What did I sell? A clean car. What did they actually buy? Time they did not want to spend at a car wash. What is that worth to them? More than $20. You stare at that last line. The next morning, you open the envelope. You spend $45 on proper supplies. Microfiber cloths. A small vacuum. A spray bottle. You spend $12 printing 200 flyers at home. You spend $8 on a notebook. That leaves $85. You put the $85 back in the envelope. You write on the front, "Do not touch." Then you go out and push a flyer through every door within a 15-minute walk from your house. Week 1. 2 calls. 2 cars. $65. Week 2. 4 calls. 4 cars. $130. Week 3. 7 calls. $210. You are not sleeping well. Not because of stress. Because you cannot stop thinking. Every job teaches you something. The clients who tip are always the ones you gave an extra 5 minutes to. How you knock on the door matters as much as how you clean the car. You write it all down. End of month 1. 23 cars. Revenue $680. Supplies $140. Profit $540. You put $200 back into the business. You keep $340. It is the first money you ever made that felt truly yours. Not a wage someone handed you. Something you built yourself. From a cold Saturday morning and a flyer through a letterbox. You stand in front of the mirror that night. You say something you have never said before. I can actually do this. Month 3. 35 clients a week. Up at 6:30. Done at 8:30 at night. Shoulders sore. Knees sore. You still smell of car wash solution after 2 showers. But you are making more in a week than you used to make in a month. The problem is clear. You are the business. If you stop, everything stops. So you sit down one evening and write out every single step of what you do. Not in general. Exactly. Step by step. So that anyone can read it and do what you do. Step 1. Arrive 5 minutes early. Check the inside before you start. Step 2. Vacuum the inside first. Always inside before outside. Dust from the inside falls on a clean outside if you do it wrong. Step 3. Wash the outside from the roof down. Rinse each section before moving to the next. Step 4. Dry with 2 cloths. One for the body, one for the glass. Step 5. Put interior dressing on the dashboard. Leave a small card on the passenger seat. Your name, the date, your number. That card changes everything. 3 weeks after you start leaving it, bookings go up. Referrals go up. People call asking for you by name. Not just a car wash. You. Because your name was on the seat. Because you left proof that you were there and you cared. The system is working. Then you make your first big mistake. A property management company calls on a Wednesday morning. They have 22 company cars. They want them all cleaned before the end of the following week. They agree to $1,540. Almost 3 weeks of income in one contract. You say yes without thinking. You post a job online that night. 2 young guys show up on time the next morning. You spend 45 minutes walking them through the 5 steps. You give them each a printed copy. Then you leave to take care of your regular clients. 3 days later, your phone rings. Property management company. Operations manager. Her voice is flat and quiet in a way that is worse than shouting. The cars smell of damp. Windows smeared. Interiors not properly vacuumed. No dashboard dressing on any of them. And one car has a scratch on the bumper that was not there before. You drive to their office that evening. You do not argue. You look at every single car yourself. Everything she said is true. You refund the full $1,540 out of your own savings. Then you spend the whole weekend cleaning all 22 cars by yourself. You finish at 2 a.m. Sunday morning. Hands raw. 4 hours of sleep. Monday morning you call both men and let them go. Then you sit in your car in a supermarket car park. 9 a.m. Monday. And you understand something no one ever told you clearly enough. A good process in the wrong hands is not a system. It is just a piece of paper. Handing someone a plan and walking away is not delegation. Growing too fast with the wrong people can destroy in 1 week what you spent a year building. 3 weeks later, she calls again. She watched you come back on a Saturday and clean every car by yourself. She wants to put you on a monthly retainer. You rebuild, but differently. No strangers this time. You ask around. You find 2 people who have seen you work, who know what you are building. You pay them a little more than the normal rate because you want people who care, not people who just need a shift. You do not hand them the steps and leave. You work next to them every single day for the first 3 weeks. You show them not just what to do, but why each step matters. You check every car at the end of every job. Then slowly you step back. The quality holds. Month 8. 3 people working with you. Month 14. 6. You are no longer doing the washing yourself. You are managing the schedule, checking quality, looking after clients, thinking about what comes next. Monthly revenue, $8,000. Monthly profit after wages, supplies, fuel and insurance, $2,800. Your personal money and business money are completely separate. You track every client, every job, every cost. You know your numbers every week. You are 18 years old. You have a business that runs when you are not there. One decision changes everything. You stop chasing individual clients. You spend 2 weeks making a list of every business near you with company vehicles, estate agents, law firms, car dealers, doctors, construction companies, anyone with vehicles that need to look clean in front of clients. You put together a simple one-page document. Your name, your process, your client list, your prices. One short example of what the property management company saved by using you. You send it to 40 businesses, 11 reply, 6 sign contracts, monthly retainers, scheduled visits, money coming in every month without chasing a single booking. Within 6 months, 70% of your income comes from business contracts. You hire someone part-time for bookings and invoices. You buy a second-hand van, fit it out properly, and put your logo on the side. You register as a limited company. You are no longer a person who washes cars. You are a business owner running a mobile detailing company. There is a difference. It took you 18 months to understand what that difference actually feels like. Morning. 10 years after that first Saturday in Mr. Davies's driveway. You are 27. You are wearing a suit. Not rented. Not borrowed. One you bought because your business earned it. You are in the reception of a regional hotel group's head office. Glass building. 11th floor. The receptionist brings you water and asks you to wait. The night before you went through their file. 8 hotels, 40 company cars. A previous supplier that had been letting them down for over a year. Poor quality. Missed visits. Nobody picking up the phone. They want someone reliable. Someone who answers. The purchasing director comes to get you. He is the kind of man who has sat in contract meetings for 20 years. He can tell within 2 minutes if the person across from him knows what they are doing. You walk into the conference room. You see the name on the board on the wall. The hotel group. The same hotel group whose main branch is 3 streets from where you grew up. The one your uncle used to point at when you were small and say, "That is where the serious people go." The one that, when you were 17 and calling every business you could find, told you through a receptionist that they already had a preferred supplier and were not interested. Not interested. You sit down. The director slides a contract across the table. 40 vehicles, 8 locations, monthly visits, total annual value, $72,000. He says, "We pay 60 days from invoice." That is our standard. You know what that means. Early in the business, 60 days would have broken you. 6 weeks of wages, supplies, and fuel coming out of your pocket while you waited for money you had already earned. But you are not 17 anymore. You pick up your pen. You say, "My company does not work on those terms. We take 30% up front when you sign. The rest is due within 30 days of the work being done." That is how we keep the quality high. He looks at you. He looks at the folder you placed on the table. Client list, quality scores, photos, case studies. He knows the old supplier is finished. He knows his hotel managers have been waiting for this to be fixed. He picks up his pen. He signs. You shake his hand. Pick up your copy. Thank him for his time. You take the lift down alone. You walk out onto the street. You get in your car. You sit there for a moment. Then you drive. Not home. Not to the office. You drive to the street where you grew up. You park outside the house with the concrete driveway. The garage door is the same color it has always been. The concrete has been patched in one corner. But if you look carefully, you can still see the faint mark near the drain, the spot where you rinsed your first car on a cold Saturday morning with dish soap and your mother's bucket. You stand there in your suit. Your phone buzzes. Bank notification. Transfer received. 30% deposit. Hotel group. 5 figures. You stand on that concrete for a long time, not smiling the way people do in films, just quiet. The quiet of someone watching a chapter close that took 10 years to write. You think about your uncle pressing $150 into your hand. You think about Mr. Davies giving you an extra $10 for doing the inside he never asked for. You think about sitting in a supermarket car park at 9 a.m. on a Monday with $1,540 refunded and 22 cars still to fix. You think about the first flyer you pushed through the first door. You put your phone in your pocket. You get in the car. You drive off. People think you need the perfect idea to start a business. You did not. You had a bucket and a neighbor who needed his car washed. People think you need money to start. You started with $150. You spent $45 on supplies and $12 on flyers. The first week paid for the rest. People think the biggest lesson in business is how fast you grow. It is not. The biggest lesson is understanding what you are actually selling. You were never selling a clean car. You were selling time. You were selling the feeling that someone showed up, did the job right, and left proof that they cared. Once you understood that, everything changed. The prices, the clients, the business. People think delegation means giving someone a process and trusting it will work. It does not. It means working next to them until the quality holds without you. You learned that the hard way. 22 cars. $1,540 of your own money. People think financial freedom means a big number. It does not. Financial freedom is the hotel director signing your terms instead of his. It is walking into a room where you once had no power and leaving with the contract on your conditions. It is standing on the same driveway where it all started and feeling, not triumph, not relief, just the quiet certainty that the decision you made at 17, with $150 and a plastic bucket, was the right one. At first you thought you needed a lot of money to change your life. All you actually needed was to learn how to make the first $150 work for you. And while you are here, there is one financial mistake that shows up in every single generation. Your parents made it. Their parents made it before them. And without knowing it, most people are making it right now. The video is right here. Watch it before you repeat it. If you watched all the way to this moment, do well to subscribe if you have not already. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. What would you start with $150? I genuinely read every single one. I will see you there.